At Sprague Pest Solutions, we live by our social norms. One of our social norms is because of what we do, millions of people eat healthier foods and live and work in healthy environments. This has never been more critical than now during the pandemic. And some of these millions of people include us. We need to be concerned about our own health and welfare. What we're dealing with today is a new threat. It's called novel coronavirus. It's a respiratory pathogen that is transmitted primarily through droplets expelled during coughing and sneezing, liquid droplets. It enters through the nose, mouth, and eyes of an individual. It does not enter through other parts of the body. There's also some thought that this virus will survive on surfaces. It's been shown in some cases to survive up to 72 hours on non-porous hard surfaces. It might survive up to 24 hours on things like cardboard. So there is a possibility that by touching a surface, you could bring that virus to your face. So we never want to touch your face. It takes a lot of practice, but you want to work on not touching your face because that could bring a virus from another area onto your face. Now, only if your hands have been sanitized or washed clean. So what are we going to do to protect ourselves? Well, OSHA's classified us workers into 4 groups, from the highly risky to the lowest risk. Most of what we do, our daily jobs, falls into the low risk category. So things like going to restaurants, servicing grocery stores, servicing warehouse or food processing plants are all considered low risk. The reason is we have little contact with people. We're generally by ourselves. We're not in intimate contact with people or close contact with people. A moderate risk or a medium risk may be things like apartment buildings or housing where there are people living there, and we may tend to come in closer contact with people and objects they've touched. So what we need to do is follow what we learned in blood-borne pathogen training, which is using universal precautions. So universal precautions like wearing gloves. Always want to wear your gloves when you're in doing service. Now when you take your gloves off, you need to wash your hands. In fact, you need to wash your hands regularly during the day. So every time you pass the sink, you should be washing your hands with soap and water. Soap and water is probably the best way to eliminate the virus from your hands and other surfaces. If you don't have soap and water, you can use hand sanitizer. So there are situations where we don't have ready access to a sink and soap and water, you can use hand sanitizer. So wear gloves. Don't touch people. In fact, you want to maintain 6 feet distance between individuals. So how do you determine 6 feet? Well, what I do is put my fist out, my arm at length, and then have the other person, if they put their arm at full length with their fist, then you don't touch. That's outside the 6 foot radius. So that's a really good rule of thumb for dealing with this. Now, we don't need to wear respiratory protection in the risky situations, the low and moderate risk situations that we're involved in. All right? So, one other thing you want to do is never enter in a unit or apartment or come in close proximity to somebody who's obviously ill. If they're sneezing, coughing, blowing your nose, seriously ill. Not just a random cough or sneeze. We're talking about, constant, obviously ill people. Take care of yourself. If you are sick, do not come to work. If you're running a fever, have respiratory symptoms, call your manager. Say, I'm staying home, I have respiratory symptoms and a fever. We don't want to contaminate or expose our fellow workers or our clients or anybody else in the general public. In fact, some of our clients are asking us to sign verifications of healthiness. So, if you have any questions regarding this, we are going to be monitoring the situation because it's very fluid. And if there are any changes to the precautions we need to take, as far as your personal protection, we will update this training for that. Now, if you have any questions, call your manager, call technical, or call a people operations team. If you have concerns about sick leave or time off or anything else related to this pandemic, please contact the people operations teams and they can answer your questions. Thank you very much.